Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over nutrient... I think that's my cat. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I'm going to be going over nutrient timing in today's video around your workout. I'm going to be talking about that post-exercise, protein shake, whatever. Do you need it? Do you not? I'm going to be covering in today's video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so like I said in the intro, I'm going to be going over nutrient timing, but the main thing that we're going to be talking about is that post-workout protein shake. Do you really need it? Is it necessary? Do you not? Because you know what? There are still quite a few people that I see going to the gym who think it's an absolute necessity, and if they don't have like 30 grams of protein right after their workout, they think the workout was freaking pointless, which I can tell you right now is absolutely not true. But I do think that there is a certain circumstance where that may actually be true, but it's for only specific type of people, and those people are people who train fasted. Because when you think about it, I think quite a few of you, if I've got to be honest, some of you guys, you don't like training as much, and you kind of gotta force yourself to go to the gym. So you're like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna do it right in the morning, wake up early and do it before I gotta go to work, because after work I'm probably not gonna end up doing it. I think many people can relate to that. So, and they train fasted, they don't eat anything, and in that context I think the post-exercise, protein shake or whatever is really beneficial, because your body can't be repairing that muscle without the protein. So I think it's really, really important to get that protein in real quick right after you work out. Personally, I would never train fasted. I just could not do it. I think I'd be so tired and I'd just lack all the motivation to do so. But if you do train fasted, then I do think the post-workout protein shake is actually really necessary. Now, for all of you who don't, that's where I draw the line. Not necessary at all. And why is that? Well, let's say, okay, you had your pre-workout meal. Let's say you had some chicken, rice, and some spinach, just as an example, okay? And then you went and worked out for like an hour. Do you really, let's use our thinking caps right now. Do you think that by working out for an hour, that chicken breast is still digesting in your stomach? If you throw up, if you throw up after that workout, what do you think you're going to throw up? You're going to throw up that chicken breast. So what is really the point of having a post-workout protein shake to get in more protein after the workout if the chicken breast is still in your stomach? Doesn't really make sense, because it's still digesting. It's not going to be fully digested for quite some time. So I think that it's still in there. So your body is going to be using that protein until it's fully digested and it's gone. And I sure as shit can tell you guys it's not going to take an hour for that chicken breast to be completely gone. Now, if let's say you have your pre-workout meal like 3 hours and then you're lifting weights and you work out for 2 hours, then I think would probably be pretty beneficial to get in that post-workout shake, because you haven't eaten for 5 hours. That chicken breast, unless it was a lot of chicken, it's probably going to be gone and digested by then, or most of it anyway. So you may want to get that extra benefit from getting that post-anabolic protein shake. But I think that is in very extreme circumstances. You want to be eating protein at least, I would say, 3 times per day, a maximum of 5 to optimize muscle growth. And as long as you spread them out, pretty evenly, then I don't think you're going to have a problem with that. Like, look, I literally just finished a really intense leg day right now. Just now, literally just now, just before recording this video, but I'm not so eager right now where I'm like, oh my god, I need to slam a freaking whey protein shake or I'm gonna like lose all the gains from that workout. No, because I had a great pre-workout meal, and the pre-workout meal, guess what? It's still in my stomach right now, and it's still digesting as we speak. So I think it can be beneficial to have that post-anabolic protein shake if you haven't eaten for a really long time or you're training fasted. But if you had a pre-workout meal or you ate within, I would say eat at least every 5 hours. 5 hours, I'd say that's a safe area where you, at least every 5 hours. If you're anywhere in there, you're probably fine. So, do you need a post-anabolic protein shake? Most of you probably don't, unless you're training fasted or you haven't eaten for at least 5 hours, in my opinion. Now, what should you have before the gym to optimize, your workout? I know some of you are like, oh, I train fasted, I don't have anything before the gym. One, I don't think that's optimal because, one, our body kind of relies on carbohydrates. That's our main source of energy. So by not having any, it's a lot harder to, push with all the power you have. Now, I know some of you are like, oh, I keto diet, keto, I don't need carbs. Yeah, sure, 3% of you, you don't feel a difference. But for the rest of us normal people, we need freaking carbs to feel good and run at our best. So I do think that you should have some form of carbohydrates before your training, whether that be like fruit, grains, bread, just some kind of carbs. A carb source. I know in one of my other videos I talked about an intra-workout and when you would need that. I'll have that, go check out that video if you haven't already. But I do think it is beneficial to have some form of carb. I also think it's beneficial to have protein, like, to create that anabolic environment. Why wait? Basically, why wait to get the protein in after when you can get it in before? Because if you get it in before, as soon as you do that first set, the muscle's already going to start repairing itself. Why wait until after to get that protein in? Why? It's just not as good. Now, if you, like I said, okay, maybe let's say you have your pre-workout meal at 2 and then you work out at 4 to 6, then you got like an hour in there to eat that post-workout meal, really. So as long as you're in that zone, you're probably good. Now, I don't want you guys to be like force-feeding food if if you're not feeling hungry or whatever, then you probably don't need to eat. Your body is pretty good at telling you when you need nutrients and when you're feeling freaking hungry. Then that's probably the time where you gotta eat. You don't really need to be watching the clock saying, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I gotta slam back the shake now. No, you don't really need to do that. You just go with the flow. What is your stomach telling you? Is it telling you you're hungry? Then eat. Unless you're some, Chris Bumstead trying to optimize every little second where you got to eat exactly at 12 and 3 and 5 and whatever. But for the most of us, we don't really have to do that. Just go with your gut and what your stomach's telling you to do. Because your stomach, it knows when you're hungry. Because it kind of signals everything. It tells you when you're hungry and when you need those nutrients. And I also do think that you should, depending on how far away your workout is from the pre-workout meal, should also depend on how much fat you have or fiber you have in the meal, because fat and fiber take quite a bit longer to digest. So the further away that pre-workout meal is from the actual workout, the more fat and fiber I think you should have. Now, if you're really short on time and you gotta get in the workout like right away, but you want to eat something, I don't think you should have that much fat and fiber, because then it's gonna be sitting in your stomach in the workout and you might feel bloated and lethargic. You don't really want that. You kind of want that just to quickly get in. So in that case, I'd recommend something like just a whey protein shake, just something that can quickly get in, quickly digest, whatever, and it can just basically, you don't want it sitting in your stomach during the workout. That is the one time I would say you don't want to eat really low calorie dense foods. If you eat a massive salad right before your workout and you're bloated, are you going to want to go train? Because I sure know I definitely don't. So if your pre-workout meal is really, really close to the time of actually training, I'd recommend having a smaller meal with minimal fat and fiber. But let's say your pre-workout meal is really far from the actual workout, then you should probably have a higher calorie meal with more fat and fiber. So it can digest slower and it can still give you energy, even if, like, let's say you have your pre-workout meal and then you're training 3 hours later. Then I think it definitely makes sense to have a higher calorie meal with more fat and fiber to slow the digestion down, so you can still have that energy and get that good pump in the gym while you're training. And of course, if you are separating the meal that far from the actual workout and then you work out for like 2 hours, then, like I said before, then it makes sense to get in that post-workout protein. But if you're eating, like, for example, like when I worked legs, I had a little snack. I was short on time, was coming home from school, had quite a bit of homework to do. So on the bus ride home, I just had a little bit of Greek yogurt, and then I went straight in the gym. That was it. That's all I need. And do I have my post-workout shake right now? No, because that Greek yogurt, it's still in there. It's still repairing the muscles. So that's my spiel on the whole post-anabolic workout shake thingy-mabobber. Do you need it? Probably not. Is it going to hurt your progress? I wouldn't. No, it's not. But for the most of you probably don't need to worry so much about slamming that shake back right after a workout. As long as you had a pretty decent pre-workout meal and you're not training fasted, then I think you don't really need it. But if you are one of those people where you like to train fasted and your last meal was a really long time ago, then I do think it makes sense. But for the most of you, you probably don't have to do it. But that is going to have to wrap up this video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.